Hey, welcome back, comic fans. It's Mr. Q Comics back with another haul video. Today I'm going to show off some books that I picked up at local antique malls. 3 or 4 shops local to me, and actually one that was out of state. I was on a business trip and we got out a little bit early and had some time to hit up a shop in Rhode Island on our way back home. So before I get into it, if you're a fan of comic hauls, please do me a favor, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let me know what you think about these books. So, all right, we're going to start with the local shops. The first one, just a single book. I had to drive like an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes away. It's an antique mall I wanted to check out. I didn't have much luck there. On my way back, I hit up a flea market. If you checked out 2 or 3, maybe my last or 2 videos ago, I did a dollar bin haul. That was the flea market I hit on the way back from this antique shop. So the first book I picked up was Adventure into Mystery, number 5. This shop just did not have a ton, and I didn't want to go home empty handed, had no real plans for other spots, so might have overpaid a little bit on this one. It's in rough shape, probably in the good condition, but it's an Atlas horror book from 1957 with a Bill Everett cover. I don't come across these titles too much, really don't have a ton of Atlas books in the collection, so was happy to find that and take that home with me. Like I said, on the way back home, I hit up a indoor flea market, another antique shop, and I showed those off a couple videos ago. So go back and check that out. I got a ton of killer dollar books in that haul. Next was, I think this was actually Super Bowl Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. I drove a couple antique shops in one town, only like 30 minutes from me, I think. I was driving to go a little bit further south and realized, oh, there's a couple closer by, and popped in. I think I ended up at 2 or 3 shops. So we'll start out, I'll just do it in the order of the shops that I hit up. I think 3 vendors I think I bought from in this shop. First one, we got Adventure Comics number 346. This is from July in 1966. This one was only $10. It's probably mid-grade, VG fine range. It's got multiple first appearances, including the Karate Kid, and I didn't realize it's the first written work in comics by Jim Shooter. So pretty reasonably priced. I've had this before, and it's fairly pricey book. So good deal on that for $10. And this stack's all from the same vendor. This guy was pretty reasonably priced. We got Strange Tales number 150. This is the first appearance of Umar. And this is the first Marvel artwork by John Buscema. Again, this one, same condition, VG fine range. This one was like $15. So another solid pickup there. We also got Tales of Suspense 97. Key book no one really seems to care about anymore. Again, VG fine range. It's got, tough to see, but it's got that telltale. I don't know if you'll see it. Got that sub crease in there. So anyways, that one was about $20. Pretty decent price. Again, not a key that commands a ton, but 1968, first appearance of Whiplash. And then this was a solid pickup from this vendor. I did not have this in my X-Men run. We got X-Men number 25. Again, lower grade stuff here. This is the first appearance in Origin of El Tigra, I believe. I marked it down as like a VG. It might be closer to a good, very good. Looks like it's got a tear that goes into the cover there. But this one was probably the priciest book I picked up from this vendor. I think it was like 20 or 25 bucks. But still, in today's market, you're getting, fairly early Silver Age X-Men for 20 bucks. You're taking that home. That was a good buy. So happy to get that. X-Men, Spidey, really expensive now. Same Avengers, Fantastic Four, especially the real early stuff, just all that stuff, super pricey. So if I can get that stuff at an affordable price, I am stoked. All right, different vendor. This guy was one of those vendors that had like 3 booths in the same shop. I've seen him in other shops in, an hour and a half away. Typically just really, really overpriced. But I found one book from him that I thought was affordable, so I picked it up. I know I've seen this one floating around on social media. Marvel Chillers number 1, first appearance of Modred the Mystic. Know nothing about this character, but I know I've seen speculation tied to this character. I'm assuming towards Doctor Strange. I can't remember. Something to do with Chiton. I don't even know how to say the name. But again, it's got to be Doctor Strange specs. So this one was pretty solid. I think it was like 17 bucks, probably in the fine range. Mid-grade, I think he had another copy that I priced way higher. So happy to find that. The next stack, this was the dealer I picked up, I hit up first. And these were definitely some of my favorite buys of the day. We'll start with, this is just a weird Golden Age cartoon book from Fawcett. It's Animal Fair #9. Pretty decent shape. I don't typically do these types of books, but this one, again, it's from Fawcett, from 1946. It's in pretty decent shape, probably VG range. It was only like 14 bucks, so I wasn't going to leave it behind. I could only find one copy on eBay. Can't find who the cover artist is. The copy on eBay, they listed it as like the first hula hoop cover. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but a 1946 book in pretty solid shape for less than 20 bucks. I thought that was pretty cool. Again, the cartoon stuff, not typically what I go after, but I thought the cover was pretty neat and in pretty decent condition. Next, he had a copy of this, DC Superstars of Magic #11. This is a Gray Morrow cover. I don't even know who that artist is. I don't know that I've ever seen his artwork before. I believe this is all reprints of Zatanna stories from Adventure Comics. 412 to 415, I believe, is what I read. And I see some people marking this as the first cover appearance of Zatanna. I don't know if that's accurate. I couldn't find that on any CGC labels or Key Collector, just other eBay listings. So this one, probably in VG range, I think I put it as maybe very good find. Again, it's 10 bucks, so pretty solid price. This is a book I didn't realize commanded as much as it does, but pretty expensive book. So another good buy there. Now, this guy, when I first walked into this shop, this was the first shop I hit. He had like this right at the counter. It was just this binder, almost like a binder you'd see for baseball cards, but he had sleeves in it with books, so you could just flip right through them. And there were some decent books in there. He had some Golden Age stuff that was pretty rough. He had a Schoenberg cover, but it was the real life comics. It wasn't one of the sought after ones. I think it was like a pirate cover, but it was really rough. But he had these last two books. This book I've never picked up before. Giant Size Defenders #3. Pretty decent shape. Probably mid-grade, fine range. What was this? This one was like 59 bucks, I think, is what I paid. I think this book has cooled off a bit, but I know I've seen a lot of, again, speculation with Korvac. This is the first full appearance, I think. I know there's a cameo in a Thor book, but happy to find this. I thought it was a pretty solid price. I'm not sure if maybe it's closer to, I paid closer to fair market value now, but I have seen it going for a pretty good chunk of change, and I'm sure there'll be some more spec, and this book will heat up again at some point. So happy to grab that. And this was my favorite book, at least of this shop, if not the day. Again, typically don't do the cartoon covers, but this one was just in beautiful condition. Frisky Animals #51. This is an LB Cole cover, which was a big part of the reason I picked it up. The colors pop on it. It's got a cool arrival date stamp there. This is from 1952, Star Publications. I did pay up for this one. It was the most expensive book of the day at these local shops. It was 77 bucks. Maybe that's probably around fair market value. Again, I don't find a ton of these sold on eBay. Tough to really figure out what the value is. I think I see a current one on My Comic Shop that's in the good range for like 50 bucks. So again, I grabbed it because the condition is really nice on this, probably in the fine, very fine range, which is, to me, exceptional for a book like this from the early 50s. So super happy with that. That is a really cool cover that will stay in the personal collection. All right, then right across the street was another shop, smaller shop, not a ton of stuff, but I found one vendor. He had some books sitting out, and then he had one of these like tabletop cases that was locked. And that's one of the things with antique stores. It can be tedious. A lot of the books are locked up, and it's, do I want to take the time to get the person at the counter to unlock the cabinet and stand over me while I go through the books? Am I going to dig through all this and it's just junk? That happens. You end up spending a lot of time, but I am glad I had them open up this guy's case. Can't remember which ones are loose, but some of the books were definitely in that case in the stack. But we'll start with this Submariner 38. Really rough shape. I think the cover might even be detached. It was only $6. This is an Origin issue. I'm assuming it's an Origin retold, but he's coming at some point. So for $6, why the heck not pick up an Origin issue at some point when he shows up? These lesser keys are going to pick up in value as well. So again, really rough. I think I have another couple copies of that, so happy to get another one. This I almost left behind, but this vendor did a discount if you paid up in cash. So this is a really sharp copy. Swamp Thing number 25. Supposed to be the first cameo of John Constantine. I don't see it on CGC labels. Key Collector kind of calls it into question a bit, so I'm not really 100% positive, but it definitely does command a good chunk of change on eBay. This is really sharp. Definitely near mid range. This was like $27 after the cash discount, I think is what I paid. So happy to get a nice copy of that. And it's a very cool Stephen Bissette cover, I believe. All right, and then I think all of these were in the case locked up. So I went ahead, I almost didn't, but I had the person open the case, and it was just a stack of Green Lantern books from the 70s, early 70s, Neal Adams covers, which I just love Neal Adams artwork. None of these are in great shape, all kind of that mid-grade VG range. So first we got, what issue? 78 here. This one's probably a little bit better shape than the others. This one's probably closer to fine, maybe very fine range. I think this was like $9. They were all in that $10 range, 10 to 14, something like that. And then there were certain, if they're over $10, you got the discount. If they're under $10, he didn't give the discount. So they were all in a $10 range. Also got 81, which I love that cover. That one's fantastic. Again, very good range. At 82. 89. And then the big score of the day, 85 was in there. The classic drug issue. Again, this one's rough. It's in the VG range, but $10. How can you go wrong with that? Amazed that was still in there. No one else must be opening the case to look. Makes you wonder if the John Stewart issue was in there at some point. I'm guessing it wasn't, since this was sitting there. I can't imagine anyone would buy that and leave this behind, but who knows? So definitely a fantastic buy there. I had another copy of this I just sold for like $175. It was in better shape, but it was probably a fine. So $10 for this issue is a great deal. This book has spiked quite a bit in the past 6 months to a year, I believe. So really nice pickup there. So that's it for the local stuff. Those were the shops I hit locally. Then the next 3 books, I hit up an antique mall. I think it was in Pawtucket. I can't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure it was Pawtucket I was in. So I wandered around a ton of books. I was with a colleague who always kind of enjoys going in there for different things, but he'll always look for comic vendors. And there's a bunch of vendors. And then the owner of the antique mall actually had his own books in a case. So I was able to grab one. I think I grabbed a couple others that I don't have in the stack here, but one of the vendors had Amazing Spider-Man 118. Not a huge book. I just didn't have it for my run. Low grade copy, but it was only $10. So again, Spidey is through the roof. I don't like paying $40-50 for what I'd consider random filler issues from, even the Silver Age. I don't want to pay that. So a $10 copy, I'm happy with to fill out the run. So start with that. And then this is what he had in the case, the 2 big books of the haul here. He had a lot of books. Price, a little high, but I had brought cash, as I usually do when I plan on trying to hit places up. So he gave me these next 2 books for $200 for cash here. First, we got Fantastic Four, number 15. This is the first appearance of the Mad Thinker. The book is in rough shape. It's, got chunks missing from the spine. I'm guessing, I can't remember, I didn't write it down, but actually the cover might be attached. I think he had this at like 85. So I was very happy with that buy. And then I coupled it with X-Men #5. Really rough shape, multiple staples. He's got tape all up and down the spine. They did a good job taping it where they did like the one lengthy piece to kind of seal it, but it is falling apart. But it is complete. And it's an X-Men 5, which is, third Magneto, second Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. So I think he had this one at like $275 or something. So $200 cash for both of those combined, I thought was a great deal. Any of this real early Marvel Silver Age stuff is obviously through the roof. So as low grade as they are, happy to add them to the collection. So hit those antique malls, guys. They are not, thoroughly gone through. I hardly ever find other people digging for comics in there. I know I see other YouTubers going to antique stores, but you can find some gems still hiding in those stacks. And I also find that a lot of the dealers are older guys who have some of that obscure golden age stuff. I find, a lot of the golden age stuff I have picked up in antique malls. I got this LB Cole cover here. I grabbed from a local antique shop. A dealer that just would periodically mix this stuff in. So you can find gems in there if you're patient. So that is it for this week's haul, guys. If you enjoyed it, please, again, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let me know what you think. Talk to you soon.